A man kicked a wooden barrel, sending it rolling down the mountainside. What he didn't realize was that inside the barrel was a woman named Annie. The barrel tumbled violently down the slope, crashing into rocks and dirt. Though bruised and shaken, Annie survived the fall. When she woke up, she found herself trapped in the middle of a giant steel framework, surrounded by narrow metal beams and nothing else. Beneath her was a pitch-black pit, deep and endless. There was no floor, no railing, no way to tell how far down it went. Terrified and unsure of what to do, Annie sat still on the narrow beam, too afraid to move. To guess how deep the drop was, she carefully removed one of her shoes and let it fall. It took a long time, several seconds, before she heard a faint sound of it hitting the bottom. That told her everything. The fall would be deadly. Trying to stay calm, Annie looked around and spotted a staircase on the far side of the structure. If she could reach it, maybe she could climb to safety. She slowly stood up, heart pounding, and took a step forward. But the beam was no wider than her foot. One slip would mean the end. As she tried to move forward, a wasp flew close to her bleeding face. She didn't dare swat it away. She held her breath and stayed perfectly still, hoping it would leave her alone. After a few tense moments, the wasp flew off. With great effort, Annie began inching forward again, arms stretched wide to keep balance. But just as she reached the middle of the beam, she slipped, her body dropped, but her hands caught onto a steel bar just in time. Dangling over the dark pit, she fought panic and began moving sideways, hand over hand, toward a rusty old ladder nearby. She paused to catch her breath, then started swinging her body back and forth like a pendulum. With one final effort, she leapt and grabbed the ladder. But it was too old. The metal broke apart, and Annie fell once again into the darkness. This time, a net far below caught her. The impact knocked the wind out of her, but she was alive. When she looked up, she saw fireworks going off in the sky. She stood and screamed for help, but no one answered. She was like a frog trapped at the bottom of a well, alive but alone. Then she saw it, a ladder bolted to the side of the wall. With a spark of hope, she found a sharp piece of metal, cut through the net, and broke apart a wooden beam to make a rope. Swinging it upward, she hooked it onto the ladder. Now all that stood between Annie and her freedom was the strength to climb. This gripping moment is from the film Inspector Coup.